Welcome to the seventh and final part of this mini-series on how to write an effective diet plan. So let's recap what we've covered so far over the first 6 lessons. In the first lesson, we looked at client compliance, which is the most important factor for getting client results. Then we look at energy balance and how to set specific energy targets depending on your client's goals. Then we went and looked at the macronutrients, specifically the quantity of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Then we looked at nutritional timing, so how to time nutrients at specific times during the day to optimize recovery, performance, and also net protein balance. Then we looked at the micronutrients and specifically reference ranges where you want to be within to hit your micronutrient targets. And then lastly, we looked at nutrition periodization. So how you set your diet plan over a period of time to ensure that your clients keep getting results and don't plateau. Now, what we're going to look at or cover in this lesson is something a little bit different. We're actually going to look at business. So specifically, how do you integrate nutritional consulting into your personal training business? Now, how you approach this is really going to depend at what stage of your business you're in. So if you're still an up-and-coming personal trainer, okay, you're trying to increase the number of sessions you're doing on the floor, or you're trying to increase your charge-out rate, what I would suggest is start by initially just increasing the rates for all your existing clients by 10%, okay? Because you're going to be adding extra value to them, okay? They're going to be getting better results because you're now addressing the nutritional component of their training. They will not even flinch about increasing their rates 10%, okay? And if they do flinch, you're better off to just fire those clients and then find a new client that can replace them, because those clients will actually be able to get better results and they'll actually be a better reflection on you and your business. So keep this in mind. The cost of living annually goes up about 5%, 4 or 5%. So every year, at the very least, you should be increasing your rates about 4 or 5%. Now, on top of that, if you're spending time, so you're investing time, energy, money to upskill yourself, to learn more, so you can actually deliver better services to your clients can get better results, then you should increase your rates at least 10%, okay, for all your existing clients. If you were just to do that, let's say you're currently servicing 30, 40 clients a week, and you increased each of them by about $10. That's another $300, $400 in your pocket straight away, just from implementing nutrition plans into their personal training package. Now, for new clients, you should actually go out and increase their rates by about 20%. Now, what you want to do, keep this in mind, in the service industry, if you stay in the middle, you're competing with everyone else. If you're charging more than other people, there's actually less competition at that higher tier because you're competing with less people. However, you need to be able to produce the goods. So if you're going to be charging more, you need to give them that extra value, that extra service. You need to show them that your plan is going to produce better results for those clients. Because what happens is if you charge more, but you don't deliver, very soon, even if you do get extra business, it will drop off. But if you charge more, if you deliver on that, you're going to get more referrals and more people are going to start coming to you, and you're actually going to end up exponentially building up your business. So if you increase your rates 20% and you're giving extra value, you will attract more clients that will pay those extra rates. No doubt about it. Okay, I've done that with many personal trainers, and they have all exponentially increased their income following that advice. Now, some of you may already be at that point where you're doing enough sessions. You don't want to be doing any more sessions, but you do want to increase your charge-out rate. Or you do want a way that you can actually service more people and obviously help more people, but also for yourself, you can increase your income. So what I want to show you here is a model that I've used before successfully with a lot of personal trainers that can literally double your charge-out rate. So let's say you're charging about $75, $80 an hour, which is standard market rate for a personal trainer. Using this model here that I'm about to show you, you will literally be able to double that charge-out rate. And you'll be able to service more clients, so at the end, like I said, you'll be able to help more people and you'll be able to earn more. So this here is what I call a nutritional consulting package. What's going to happen is the further up you go in the industry, you're not going to have time to service everyone. Okay, you will get more and more referrals from people because the word will get around that if you're good and if you produce results, you're going to start getting more referrals from people. But you're not going to be able to be on the floor realistically more than 40 hours a week counting reps. And on top of that, writing programs, writing diet plans, doing all your admin, banking, so forth. So really a personal trainer is capped at around 40 hours a week as far as how many hours they can do on the floor without really ending up working 60, 70 hours a week. Because after that, if all the extra time you spend on the back end, you can almost double from the time that you're putting on the floor. So how do we go about then increasing our charge out rate so we can still keep reasonable work hours yet earn more money for our time? And the way we do that is you transition from counting reps to writing reps or writing diet plans. Okay, because even right now for your clients, you're creating their programs. Okay, you're going to be creating their diet plans, and you're spending that extra time with them on the floor. So you're not really getting paid much to write diet plans or to write training plans. But realistically, what you want to be doing long term is actually be getting paid to write diets, getting paid to write training plans, and spend less time on the floor actually counting reps. Because that's where the value is. The value is in being able to write effective training plans and then still being in contact with your clients so that you can coach them or guide them to take the action that they need in order to achieve that result. So with this package here, you can combine this with a training and nutrition package, but just for this example, I want to focus on nutrition alone. And I'll tell you something. I have probably about, out of all my clients, a handful of clients that do just nutritional consulting with me. They don't actually do training. They come in, I do all their nutrition, but don't actually address their training. They do their own training. I don't have any clients, not one, that does just training with me without addressing their nutrition. And why do you think that is? Because at the end of the day, if you had to weigh it up, nutrition is always going to have a greater impact on a person's result than training. So you could have the best training program, but if you don't have a good nutrition plan, you're not going to be able to out-train a bad diet. Like we said, you need about 90% consistency with your nutrition plan in order for the client to get result. So that's why, if anything, I offer nutrition-only consulting, but I don't do just training. So it's either training and nutrition, or it's either nutrition only. I don't do just the training. Now, if you do have a client that has a medical condition, for example, I recommend referring them out to a dietitian. Okay, they have a medical condition, they're likely taking medications or drugs, and there's interaction between various drugs that you need to refer to someone who's actually more skilled in that area, because that is outside the scope of a personal trainer. But for most of your clients, or all your clients, you should really make nutrition consulting non-negotiable, okay, because it really is going to improve your business that much more. So let's have a look at how we set up this package, this nutrition package. What you want to do is have the client come in for an initial consultation. Now, you want to put aside about 45 minutes for that. You'll send them out a pre-screening questionnaire prior to the consultation, and then when they come in, you will go through everything with them. Okay, so you want to get as much information here as you can about that client, so you can go out and write the best possible diet plan for them. Okay, here you're also going to take their before photos, you're going to take skin fold measures. If you're not taking skin fold measures, you need to get them beforehand sent to a DEXA or in-body scan or a bod pod or something that can measure their body fat, because it's essential you're measuring body fat. And there's several reasons for that. Number one, people improve what you measure. So straight away, that increases consistency, that increases compliance. Number two, it gives you a starting point, so you know where you're currently at. So if you have your starting point, and then you have your goal, which is your end point, you know how to create an effective roadmap to get really from A to B. And thirdly, it gives you constant check-ins where you reassess body fat. It gives you feedback as to how well your plan's working, okay? So it's essential in some shape or form you're measuring your client's body fat. Now, if you do have online clients, for example, a big percentage of my client base is online clients, you can send them to other coaches that can do their skin folds, you can send them to get DEXA scan, or you can send them to get bod pod. But you need that body fat measure, okay? You need something to work with, and you need the regular checkup so you can see where they're at with their progress. So all of that happens in that initial consultation. After you've done the initial consult, you will go away, you will put together their nutrition plan. Now, normally this could take up to an hour or more for that process, but if you're using iNutrition Pro software, you can literally write a diet plan in 3 minutes. You can still charge the client for an hour's worth of your time, because if you sat down, put in all the work to write that plan, that's how much it will take you. But in reality, it may only take you 3 minutes. And this is what this is all about, is leveraging your time so you can earn more and you can go out and serve more people. So you put together a nutrition plan, you will do a follow-up call with your client, or if you see them in person, you'll go over the plan in person with them and basically go through everything. Okay? Make sure they understand it, make sure they're clear. And this is where you want to check in with them. Like we said in that first lesson, is that plan workable for them? Is there anything in that plan that's going to give them issues? And if so, what part of it they're going to have problems with, where they're going to struggle, and then making the adjustments to that plan accordingly. So once you've given the nutrition plan, you've gone through it with them, they understand it, it's feasible for them, they're like 9 out of 10 confident they can follow that plan. Let them go out and they'll start following the plan, and you want to check in with them every week. So regardless whether they're a face-to-face client or they're an online client, it's important they check in with you. 1, for accountability. 2, because you need to know how they're going. Now, when they check in, usually you want to get feedback such as how's their energy level, how's their appetite, how's their strength, how's their libido. These are all biofeedback markers that's telling you physiologically, hormonally, what's taking place in their body. Okay, and then you know if your nutrition plan is setting them on the right path or if it's pushing their body out of balance. And then you know if you need to make adjustments to your plan. Also, as part of the check-ins, you don't have to do this every week, but usually I try to aim with my clients to do at least every second week, take skin folds, because see the subjective changes in their body composition after following a diet plan for about 2 weeks, and then I can go and make adjustments to their plan to make sure they keep progressing based on what we planned for them. So they do the weekly check-in. You make week-to-week adjustments to their plan as needed. Okay, so after you've checked in with them each week, they're seeing how all their biofeedback markers are, seeing the changes in the body composition through doing the skin folds or some other type of assessment, you can go out and make week-to-week changes to their plan. Now again, if you're doing this by hand, you can spend hours doing this. If you're using the iNutrition Pro software, you can literally spend minutes doing this. And that's really the whole reason we created this software, is because we want to help you leverage your time so you don't have to do the shit kicker work. You don't have to sit there making calculations. You just have to know where you want to go, what kind of plan you want to use with that client, and then let the software do all the shit kicker work for you, the tedious work that you don't really or can't really be bothered doing. Now after that, you want to also offer in this package phone and email support. Okay, so if your client has any questions, they can email you. Usually what I say, email me, and if I can't answer you within 5 minutes, I'll arrange like a Skype call or a phone call and we can go through any questions you have. Or if they're a face-to-face client, when they see you face-to-face, you can address any questions that they have. This whole package, okay, you want to sell at least 3 months, because here's the thing, individual diet plans do not work. So if I gave you a diet today, that diet's going to be good for you maybe the next 3 to 4 weeks, and then you're going to plateau, and then what? So you never want to sell just the single diet plans, you want to sell packages. So the minimum is 3 months. Most of my clients, I try to have them commit for at least 6 months, because for most people to realistically achieve their goal, they're going to need to commit for about 3 months. Okay, just going to take time. Because remember what we said when we looked at the nutrition periodization lecture, by dieting slowly, you can keep a higher metabolic set point, so you're less likely to ramp down all your metabolism hormones. So leptin, thyroid, you're less likely to ramp down anabolic hormones, less likely to lose muscle tissue. So you're more likely to sustain the result and make the process more enjoyable, and the client's more likely to comply. But that takes time. So in order to do that, you need to give yourself enough time. As a rule of thumb, you want to give about 0.5% of fat loss per week. So if you have a client who wants to lose about 10% body fat, that will take at least 20 weeks. Plus, give yourself about a 6 to 8 week buffer, because anything can go wrong. They might go off the plan, they might have medical conditions you're not aware of, something might come up that will derail their progress or their run. So you need to prepare for that. So if someone wants to lose on average about 10% body fat, that's a 6-month process. So you need to have and set a realistic time frame for that. So what you can do as far as selling the package, you could offer them a 3-month upfront plan for about $550. Or you can offer them weekly direct debit for $50. So they get a small discount for paying 3 months upfront, or they can go weekly on direct debit and just pay $50 each week. And because you're selling it as a package, they can see value in that, because they're seeing all the back-end work you're putting in, going out, writing their diet plan, checking in with them each week, making adjustments to their plan, being there available to support them along the way. So you're having that regular contact with them, whether they're a personal training client or not. You really need that. That's the coaching client relationship. If you charge $50 a week on direct debit, and that's within nearly everyone's budget. So at this price point here, that really shouldn't be a concern for most people. But for you, look at it this way, $50 a week over 12 weeks, that's $600. This whole package here, the amount of time you will spend on it if you're using the iNutrition Pro software is between 3, maximum 4 hours, okay? So your charge out rate is literally going to increase from, let's say you were charging $80 to $150 up to $200. So literally, just from following and upselling this plan, you have doubled your charge out rate, because now you're getting paid for actually the coaching the client, writing their plans, not being on the floor counting reps. Not saying you shouldn't be on the floor counting reps. We're personal trainers, that's what we enjoy. We know that can help clients get better results. But if you want to get your business past a certain point, you can't just keep indefinitely taking on more clients on the floor. You're going to have to transit to where you're getting paid more to do stuff like this. Okay, so right now, like to give you an idea, in my business, I may only see 5 people a week on the floor, but I've got 15 people that I do online consulting with, either just nutrition or nutrition and training. And that's just a much better way for me to leverage my time as a personal trainer. And that way, it doesn't give you the experience, you know, if you're on the floor 40 hours a week, it's like a factory, you're pumping out one client after another. You can actually take the time to focus on writing good nutrition plans, good training plans, and actually guiding the clients to properly do the work they need to achieve that result. So I can guarantee you, if you just went and started applying this, that alone will exponentially increase your charge out rate and save you a lot of time. Okay, so I hope that was useful for you. That concludes our 7-part series. If you enjoy this series, please go out and share it. If you want to learn more about everything that we covered here, I highly recommend you check out our online certification, because we covered all these topics in much greater depth, and it'll give you a much more thorough understanding of how to go out and write effective nutrition plans. This is only the scraping of the surface, because we just want to give you an idea roughly of what you should be doing, and hopefully decide, you know, to take on the iNutrition Pro software, hopefully decide to get the online certification, and it really can help you and be a valuable asset to your business. So thank you so much for listening, and hopefully I will chat to you soon. Thank you.